Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Svetlana Shlapak from ukvisaSuccess.com, where UK immigration system is explained in simple terms. I had a client. Actually, it was my client's friend who came to see me, and he was incredibly upset because his friend's visa was refused 4 times. And when I looked at the documents, I realized that my future client was making the application using various categories, and of course it was refused because he was not honest. It was his intentions of visiting the UK. When I asked his friend to explain to me what was happening, he showed me the photos of his his dear friend, who was severely ill, and according to his doctor's medical reports, he could only get some treatment in the UK, and the man was desperate to enter the UK, but he thought that if he would reveal the true reason for traveling to the UK, he would not be allowed to enter this country. And today's video is dedicated to those who want to receive a private medical treatment. The rules are complex, but as in all my videos, I have divided those into very easy to understand parts. So it will not be, at the end of this video, you will get the idea of how the application should be made, and you will find out about 5 key elements of making a successful application for visitors who want to visit the UK for private medical treatment. So let's begin. The first key element is to understand who should make an application, and please continue watching because it's not only the visa nationals who should apply for visitor's visa in order to get private medical treatment in the UK, and I shall explain later why. Secondly, I will explain what suitability requirements you should meet in order to prove to the decision maker that you are of suitable character and you are allowed to enter the UK and you clearly meet this requirement. Then the third key element is to understand the eligibility requirements. I have identified 5 eligibility requirements which I clearly explain in this video, and I will also explain how you should make the application. Basically, the procedure of making the application will be covered in this video as well. Okay, who needs to make an application for an entry clearance in order to travel to the UK for the purpose of receiving of private medical treatment? Obviously, all visa nationals do, and as you know, there is a list of visa nationals which are required by law to make their prior application before traveling to the UK. They need to obtain a visa before traveling to the UK, and there are quite a few countries, and I decided to prepare a separate document which you may all download free of charge by visiting ukvisaSuccess.com. So you just click on the button and you will download a list of all visa national countries, just to make sure that whether or not your country is on the list, it's worth checking. Non-visa nationals, people from English-speaking countries such as Canada, States, New Zealand, Australia, you will be surprised to to find out that if you would like to travel to the UK to receive a medical treatment, and it is likely to take more than 6 months, then by law you are required to obtain a visa before traveling to the UK. This is a huge surprise for many people, but by law, if a person wants to travel to the UK and they are from a non-visa country, and if it's their visit is the anticipated visit is under 6 months, then they're fine. But if they want to stay here for longer period of time, for more than 6 months, they have to obtain a prior entry clearance before traveling to the UK. Suitability requirements, it's all about whether or not you are a suitable person and that you do not fall under any refusal grounds in this category. So I have there are quite a few suitability requirements, and I have prepared a list, which you can, it's all part of the same document, so which can be downloaded from ukvisasuccess.com. But those people who had criminal convictions in the past or were dishonest in their previous applications to the Home Office, to the British Embassy or High Commission, I strongly suggest that you check this document to make sure that you are not caught by any of these requirements. Eligibility requirements. There are 5 eligibility requirements which are identified when analyzing the Appendix V of the immigration rules. And as you can see in front of you, there is a part of the mind map which I've prepared and saved for you in a separate document, which can also be downloaded from the website ukvisasuccess.com. So the first key element of the eligibility requirement is to prove that you have a genuine intention to visit the UK. When I explain this to my clients, they are a bit puzzled because so why would they want to make an application if they have no genuine intention of visiting the UK? But the genuine intention to visit is easily proved by showing that first of all, you have an intention of leaving the UK at the end of your visit, and that you're not going to live in the UK for extended periods through frequent or successive visits, and that you are not going to make the UK your main home. Those who have some relatives in the UK, they have to be particularly careful when proving this particular eligibility requirement, because it's very important for you to prove that although you have some relatives living in the UK, you're not going to stay here with them and make the UK your main home. And then that you are not going to work in the UK, you are not going to study, or you're not going to receive any payments while in the UK. And of course, you have to also prove that you have enough funds to support yourself for the entire duration of your stay in the UK. Without recourse to public funds. Recourse to public funds is a legal term which you have to explain to the decision maker that you have enough money and you will not be relying on government support while in this country. Funds, maintenance, and accommodation provided by the third party. Is this allowed? Yes, it is allowed, as long as you prove the following things: that you have a genuine and professional or personal relationship with the visitor, and that he or she is not going to be and will not be in breach of UK immigration rules at the time when you travel to the UK, and also that they are in the position and will provide you with support for the entire duration of your stay in the UK. And the decision maker may ask the person who is willing to support you while you are in the UK to sign an undertaking to prove that they are willing to commit and they are willing to support you financially while you are in the UK. And of course, you will also need to provide them with the third party financial evidence confirming that they're in the position to support you financially. A third eligibility requirement is for you to prove to the decision maker that you're not going to be involved in any prohibited activities such as work, study, receipt of payments, marriage, or civil partnership. All you can do here is to provide evidence confirming that you are already working in your country of origin, or you're studying and that you are married, or basically stating that you have no intention of being involved in any of the prohibited activities. And if you are here to get some treatment for the communicable disease, you have to provide the decision maker with the medical evidence confirming that your illness is of no danger to public health. Eligibility requirement number 5 is to obtain a very straightforward and detailed letter from your doctor in the UK, confirming, first of all, the medical condition you have and that it requires consultation or treatment in the UK, the estimated course and likely duration of your treatment, and where the consultation is going to take place. If you think that your treatment is going to exceed 6 months and you need to apply for a visa for up to 11 months, in your letter, the doctor should also state that the proposed treatment is likely to exceed 6 months, but is not going to be for more than 11 months. And also, you have to check whether or not you are on the list for the tuberculosis screening. Again, details can be found in the document, in a separate document, which you can all download free of charge at ukvisasuccess.com. So just check whether or not your country is on the list, and if it is, you have to go through this screening. The procedure is pretty straightforward, but you have to follow the steps in order to make sure that you complete successfully this final part of the application. First of all, you have to make an online application. Secondly, you have to pay the fee in local currency. Thirdly, you have to go through the biometrics procedure if required, and you have to provide your passport and all the documents in support of your application. So it's an online application, fee in local currency, biometrics if required, passports, and all the supporting documents together. I strongly suggest that you also prepare a letter in support of your application, just clearly explaining how you meet the requirements for this particular immigration category. Duration and conditions. So if you are successful and you require treatment which exceeds 6 months, the maximum duration of your leave will be for up to 11 months. And of course, you will not be allowed, there is no recourse to public funds condition, so you're not allowed to claim benefits or get any support from the government, from the UK government, and you are not allowed to work or study. And to summarize today's video, I would like to emphasize that there are 5 key elements for you to understand before making the application. First of all, you have to check whether or not you need a visa to travel to the UK. Secondly, that you meet all the suitability requirements. Thirdly, that you meet all the eligibility requirements. There are 5 requirements for you to check, and that you follow the correct procedure. And if your application is successful, then the maximum duration of your leave will be for up to 11 months, and you will not be allowed to claim any benefits to work or study in the UK. If you are intending to make the application, I wish you all the best. I hope that this video clearly explained to you the key elements and that you follow the steps in order to make sure that you get enough evidence to help the decision maker to reach a favorable decision. And this is all from me for today. I wish you lots of luck and all the best.